critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation. I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here.
I mean, Obama be the hidden puppet master for this administration, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence that Obama is Joe's puppet master.
Biden is being ridiculed for blaming deepfakes on his deep dementia. Karine Jean-Pierre came out and was trying to paper over a couple of these weird videos that have now leaked out. We're going to go through these videos in a bit more detail, but here's what's coming up. We've got Obama right here. You'll see him grabbing Joe's wrist. Come on, Joe, it's bedtime. Gonna go brush your teeth now. He's okay. So then we also got Giorgia Meloni from Italy, who gave him the old tap on the shoulder. And we also got him over there in England, and we're going to watch that full clip, but it looks like he's a little unsteady on his feet, holding the King of England for support. Now, Karine has to explain all this. She's got a hard time here. And she's talking about deepfakes, which is strange because I've never seen one of those before at all. I don't know what she's talking about. But it is interesting because these are clearly not deepfakes. These are clearly the president, not fake AI anything. So what they've done is they probably hired some very weird consultant who says, well, they're not really deep fakes, but deep rhymes with sleep and peep and sheep. So call them sheep fakes because they're actually real, but they're kind of taken out of context. And so Karine came out. She tried to explain this to everybody today, and the media was just not having it. They're like, but it's not fake at all. Like, that's the actual president who's having a difficult time walking. So, all right, here's Karine, couple clips.
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that there appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organizations have been very clear, have stressed that these right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world.
Yeah, nobody even believes those words anymore. They told us the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation and misinformation from the Russians. It was all real. So we don't believe them at all.
I'll quote the Washington Post, what they wrote about this, and they said how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. And to their credit, we have conservative Washington Examiner did call them out as well, calling out the New York Post. Ironically, several recent cheap fakes actually attacked the president for thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy this happened, and again in Italy. And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos. And it is, again, done in bad faith.
Okay, so she starts with a cheap fake. She's a communications expert, like the best in the whole country. Not joking. Excellent communicator. So, all right, let's take a look at some videos and let's just see. We can put them in context. I don't know. We don't want to be manipulative here. So we'll go over to our friend, Haviva Fry, who is a good friend right next door on Rumble and YouTube, who got the actual real video here. He says, for the record, okay, we saw the video. You people are liars. So a lot of other people came out and said, for the record, this did not happen. This is a total lie. Biden appears to freeze up, has to be let off stage by Obama. We saw the hand grab. So New York Post writes about it. David Hogg and the rest of them say it's a total lie. They all go hog wild. They all got the memo. They're in a big group chat, I'm sure of it. And they all push back on this one. So they all push back. So David Hogg comes out. For the record, we saw the video. It happened. You are the liar, David. All right, so let's see. Is this a deep fake? Is this a cheap fake? Is this manipulated by AI? Or what happened here? There's Obama. There's Biden, totally blank Mitch McConnelling right now. Grabs him by the wrist, shakes him, and pulls him out. Wow. Is that AI? Is that ChatGPT rendering that here for us? Because it certainly looks like Obama is walking Joe off the stage. So I don't know if that was a deep fake. Hopefully it wasn't. I don't want to spread disinformation or misinformation, Karine, but it looks pretty dang real to us here. So we got that one clip and there's others. So here was another one. This is the Giorgia Meloni clip. I'm sure you've seen this, but our friend Viva also pulled the full clip here on this one. It says, I found the full video. The longer clip is even more horrifying. All right. So here's this guy. Now he lands, which which is supposed to be the big show. Okay, even dictator Trudeau is paying attention on this one. That's the star of the show. Joe Biden, yet again, goes over to the other guy who is packing up his parachute, and Georgia Meloni comes back over. Hey, Joe, come on over here, man. This is not where you're supposed to be looking at. Come on over here. Come on. All right. So pulls him back. Okay, that's two now. We got two other leaders who are pulling him in for the photo op and to look. Joe Biden puts his glasses on. Thanks, Georgia Meloni. We appreciate you. Thanks for corralling our president and getting him there. Now he's just going to stand there. I don't even know what, he's not even moving. All right. So that's the president. So thankfully, the Italians got him in line. And this was another interesting clip over with the King of England, having a hard time there as well. And here's this scene. A little unsteady, grabs him by the hand. Now watch when they turn, the King's going to put his arm out a little bit and Joe's going to grab it right there. See that? There you go. He's got his hand out. See that? Look, he's got his hand out. 100%. He's the king, right? He puts his hand over here, and I can't tell if this is really the UK because I thought everybody had the wigs on all the time over there. So, all right, Karine, now they said, wait a minute. You said deep fake. You said like something was weird here, but it's like happening a lot. We've got a bunch of videos, Karine. What are you talking about?
There were two instances in recent days where leaders, former President Obama and Georgia Meloni of Italy, they physically put hands on the president to guide him and show him
Bedtime, Joe.
Stage directions. Are they doing that on their own, or has anybody asked them to run the show like that?
First of all, let me spoke to the most recent, right? And as we saw on Saturday, the President Obama's office put out a statement. So I would refer you to that statement about what was being accused in those by others. And he said this did not happen in the sense of what people saying they were seeing, right? Or what was being falsely reported that they were seeing. Let's not forget, President Obama, President Biden have a relationship. They are friends. They're like family to each other. And I think that's what you saw. You saw the president put his hand on the back of President Biden and they walked off the stage after taking questions
got him 2 scoops
at an event, taking questions from Jimmy Kimmel. That is what you saw. But I would refer you to President Obama's office statement. They talked about this, they discussed this, and they came out with it pretty quickly.
Meloni,
all right.
You wanted to say something about
Meloni, I don't know specifically what happened with Meloni.
The parachutist.
Oh, I mean, look, that was, as I said, it was a cheap fake. That was definitely a cheap fake. It was. This was widely fact-checked, including by conservatives media, on what happened, what occurred. The president walked over to give a thumbs up to divers who had just landed right in front of him. And if you run that tape a little bit longer, you would see what was happening, what the president was actually doing, and it is a cheap fake. That is what...
About nothing, and he's totally normal?
What I'm saying is, this is a president, and I said this moments ago, instead of Republicans focusing on the president's performance in office and what he's been able to accomplish, his actual record, they do these cheap fakes. They're cheap fakes. And you're asking me about the Meloni, you're asking me what happened. That video was, okay, let's talk about Juneteenth. The president stood there listening to the music and he didn't dance. Excuse me, I did not know not dancing, it was a health issue. That is a weird thing to actually flag when, if you look at the people who are around him, you look at the expanded video of the people who were around him, there were some folks who were not dancing either. And that has been fact-checked. That is just not a health issue.
Majorities of American voters who are telling pollsters repeatedly for years now that they have serious concerns about this president's cognitive fitness are being misled by cheap fake videos? Is that
I'm saying that there have been cheap fakes videos that have been fact-checked by conservative media as well to say that these videos are false. They're purposefully being altered. So that is...
What is being altered about those videos? You mean it's being edited? You mean it's being clipped? It's taken out of context? What is being altered? What pixels got moved around? Did Joe Biden really not go over there to the parachute people? Was that made up? Did Obama not grab his hand? What is she talking about?
The president has done more in his 3.5 years as president than most modern day president. And what he's been able to deliver. He's able to do that because he knows what he's doing. He knows how to deliver for the American people. He's able to make sure that we attack climate crisis with the Inflation Reduction Act. He's make sure that we're able to create 15 million jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs. He was able to make sure that unemployment went down. He was able to make sure that we are able to have Medicaid actually able to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies. Something that no other president has been able to do. This president has been able to do. I think that tells you everything that you need to do by looking at his record. And what you're seeing right now is Republicans, instead of talking what I just listed about, what I just talked about, they're really diving into these cheap fake videos. And it's in bad faith. That's what I'm saying. What they're doing is pure bad faith. And it's been fact-checked by many, including conservative fact-checkers.
Brutal. Just an absolute demolishment. I don't know that she could have done any worse than that. I don't know whose idea this was, but it really sounds bad. It sounds like they're having to explain multiple instances of Joe Biden's clear missteps and dementia. So having a tough time. Now, what they did is they worked really hard to try to keep any video from leaking out at this event, but unfortunately for them, some did. Good for us so we can see how Joe's doing. We got 2 clips. One was from today, and this one was from the actual event where Obama let him off the stage. And you can see why Obama might want to take him off the stage, because this is what his performance sounded like.
Economy's growing, people doing better. We have the highest unemployment, the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. We have more people. We've had over 15 million people brand new hired into the workforce. You know, my son says, you know, we all have various short descriptions for your jobs, for what you accomplished. And you should say Joe Jobs.
Okay, I gotta tell you, man, Obama's got a pretty good poker face. Like, as Joe was speaking, I'm like wincing. I'm like, that's our president? Oh, gosh. Here's another one. This one I think came from today. I'm not really sure what this is or what's happening here or what this is, but I think it's time to put Grandpa back to bed because he's just a little too cranky today.
Are you worried about your future? Are you worried about your
Yikes. Oh man, another cheap fake. Man, I did it again. More cheap fakes here on this channel. Karine is going to be so mad at me when I play this video, but this is another real video of Karine, okay? This is real. Karine Jean-Pierre came out and she confirmed to us, this is true, this is not misinformation, that Obama is not in charge of this White House.
You know, there's been zero evidence.
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Zero evidence. You can ask me, how can Obama be the hidden puppet master for this administration? But there's no evidence. There's no evidence that Obama is Joe's puppet master. There's none.
There isn't any.
Absolutely none.
You're right, Karine.
None. And that is just a fact. You can't say that it looks like my hair is the dirty mop the janitor is looking for.
All right, so Karine, I don't know what she's talking about. There's no deep fakes at all. That's all real out there. Okay, so actually that one was not real, all right? That was Obama as Karine. That's what an actual deep fake looks like, Karine. Hello? We can tell the difference. The things that Joe Biden is doing, those are real. Those are not deep fakes. They're not cheap fakes. There is a pattern here. This dude cannot even function. He's got to be walked off stage. So I don't know what Karine's problem is, all right? It's all real. Even Obama. This is actually mostly real, by the way. The video is fake, but it's pretty much real. I mean, Obama is running the administration. We all know that's the truth. So Biden absolutely ridiculed, as they should be. What kind of a stupid PR adjustment is this? They're going to just say that our eyes are lies. The things that we're seeing should not be believed. It's all manipulated, taken out of context. And if you doubt us for a minute here, Karine said it's been fact-checked by the Washington Post and conservatives. So just deal with it, America. All right. So that is, of course, our presidency. And we're going to be here continuing to cover, my friends. So if you like this video, if you like this channel, we'd love to have you back here. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for inviting someone you know or love to come over here and check us out. The algorithm doesn't give us a lot of love out there, so we're very appreciative when you introduce somebody to our content, our work, and the community that we're building here, because we're having some fun, we're covering some good ground, and we can't wait to see you back here and on this next video, so we can see you on that one and back here on the next one.